Welcome back to our continuing coverage on the clash of the Titans in Varanasi. We are showing you the visuals of the Prime Minister as he just a short while back visited the Kashi Vishwanath Temple. In fact, he will also be visiting the Kal Bhairav Temple, which is situated just about a kilometer away. And we just saw the Prime Minister offering his prayers at the Kashi Vishwanath Temple before he proceeds further to the Kal Bhairav Temple. Now, we have been also speaking to our correspondents. There has been a huge number of BJP workers who have come out in such large numbers to support the Prime Minister during his rally to Varanasi. It's his constituency. He will be also speaking to the party Karyakartas in a short bit. But here are the visuals of the Prime Minister offering his prayers at the Kashi Vishwanath Temple. I'm also joined with me in the studio by consulting editor Rajdeep Sardesai. Rajdeep, the Prime Minister offering his prayers at the Kashi Vishwanath Temple, seeking the blessings of the Lord before the crucial results are out on the 11th of March. He'll also be visiting the Kal Bhairav Temple. And there you see the man of the moment clearly as he is being garlanded by various priests of this revered temple in the holy city of Varanasi.
That's right. And, I think for the Prime Minister, this is again symbolically important. And I've said this before, that I think the Prime Minister plays three roles when he goes to Varanasi. He plays the role of the development icon, the so-called Vikas Purush is how he projects himself. Just outside Varanasi, if he addresses a rally, he'll say, I'm a Garib ka bacha, and remind you that he comes from a backward caste family of Gujarat. And then when he is in Varanasi, he will also somewhere play subtly and sometimes not so subtly the role of the Hindutva hero and the Hindu identity. So I think he plays all three roles. If you remember in the last election campaign when he was there, he had spoken of how Ma Ganga ne bulaya hai. So it was very clear when he was saying that, or went for a Ganga Aarti. This is the Prime Minister who plays this kind of triple role, and I think being at the Kashi Vishwanath Temple, he will play that role. Interestingly, what we are told is Akhilesh Yadav and Rahul Gandhi are also going to go to the Kashi Vishwanath Temple today. So they too don't want to vacate that space. There is the strong Hindu space, and this election somewhere, the Hindu card has been played as this election has moved from western to eastern UP. You have Yogi Adityanath, Gorakhpur, the more firebrand, more aggressive face. So that's in your face Hindutva politics. And then you have Hindutva being wrapped up in this, in a cloak of development. So then you speak about Shamshan and Kabristan. Then you speak about Bijli during Ramzan and no Bijli during Diwali, which is a patent lie, to be very honest. I went across eastern UP asking people, did you get Bijli only during Ramzan and not during Diwali? And everyone said, sir, meter to ek hi hota hai. And even on Ramzan and Kabristan, while there were, on Shamshan and Kabristan, there were people who pointed out that more funds were being given, they claim, to Kabristan than Shamshan, which some budgetary allocation does bear out. It wasn't the key issue. In fact, one person in Jaunpur made a great point to me. He said, Neta jo hai, hame jeene nahi dete, aur ab hame marne bhi nahi denge. And that's classic UP. But to come back to these pictures, I think these pictures are important for the Prime Minister to send out the message. At the core of it, the Hindu in Narendra Modi is garv se kaho hum Hindu hain. Whether you like it or not, and the Prime Minister from time to time talks of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, he is the man who was part of the Rath Yatra movement of the early 90s, where garv se kaho hum Hindu hain was the dominating slogan. Today that slogan may have been gone to an Adityanath. But Narendra Modi ji, in his own way, wants to play that card. He will not abandon that space because he recognizing that that space is where the core identity of the BJP still lies. Everything else is what you call the plus factor. Right. The Vikas, the backward caste, right. Modi is all the plus factor, the core of it. Mr. Modi wants to play the role of the Hindutva hero. Right. And going to Kashi Vishwanath is sending out that message. And now he's setting the agenda to the extent that Akhilesh Yadav and Rahul Gandhi will also be doing this. I don't know whether Rahul Gandhi would have done that a couple of years ago. Maybe in the past they would have gone both to the Gyanvapi Mosque and to the Kashi Vishwanath Mandir. This time they will only go to the Kashi Vishwanath Mandir, Akhilesh and Rahul. So I think Mr. Modi very cleverly recognizes that these images will play out on TV. They will once again emphasize his image as a Hindutva hero. And to that extent, what you are seeing is classic imagery by the Prime Minister.
But you've got to give that, to his foresightedness. Don't you think, Rajdeep? I mean, he is an astute politician, someone coming from Gujarat, making Varanasi his constituency. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, I think he's a remarkably astute politician. Yeah. I have not seen a better communicator than Mr. Modi in a long time, and B, a politician who's 24/7 thinking about Sam, Dam, Danda, Bhed. How do I win an election? He is a pugilist when it comes to elections, and he will, he has that hunger to win an election at all costs. So while politically correct Indians may say, look at the Prime Minister in the middle of a yatra, of a road show, he's going to Kashi Vishwanath, isn't that the Hindu streak in him? Yes, it is, but he wears it openly on his sleeve. So it's not something that he's hiding. It's not as if like the Congress, and this is where he tries to play the role of saying, look, I'm not an old style pseudo-secular. I'm a Hindu, so I'm not supposed to celebrate iftar. I will not have an iftar party. Now the Congress's version was we'll have iftar party and we will have a holy Milan. But the Prime Minister is very clear that he is not going to forsake his Hindu identity. So that's Narendra Modi for you. He believes this is his electoral cachet. He's not going to abandon anything that will get him a few more votes.
So sir, do you think that this very strong message coming from the Prime Minister is what is, galvanizing the party karyakartas who are there in such huge numbers? Is it a result of, the fervor and the enthusiasm that we are seeing in Varanasi on the ground? And do you think that, the poll campaign of the Congress, that is UP ke Ladke versus Bahari Modi, will perhaps backfire for the alliance?
I think the UP ke Ladke versus the outsider Modi doesn't work. The fact is Mr. Modi is the Varanasi Lok Sabha MP. The fact is Mr. Modi won a resounding victory in Uttar Pradesh in 2014. Now you can't be an outsider and win the kind of victory that Mr. Modi won. Yes. And Mr. Modi has bridged the Lucknow-Delhi gap. He has bridged the gap between Gujarat and Banaras. And a critical aspect of bridging the gap is what you're seeing on the screen. He is very acutely aware of the traditions of Uttar Pradesh. Yes. This is not some chief minister who's not a prime minister who's not aware of that. And I think that, that UP ke Ladke versus Mr. Modi will not work. It may have worked if Akhilesh Yadav was possibly in a stronger position than he was. I mean, Nitish Kumar was able to do it in Bihar because Nitish Kumar at the end of the day was a 10-year chief minister in Bihar with a string of achievements to his credit. Akhilesh Yadav is slowly breaking out of the imagery and the stereotype of the rowdy Samajwadi, of the Shivpal Yadav imagery. So I don't think he can at the moment claim entirely that he alone is the UP killer. But I want to point out something, and I don't know how people will see it. Next to the Prime Minister is the BHU VC, Mr. Tripathi, who openly says, I am a RSS Swayam Sevak. Now I want to ask Mr. Tripathi and all those who have, when we did the Banaras Hindu University campaign, we were accused of doing an anti-Modi campaign. Nothing to do with Modi, it was about gender disparity. But how many vice-chancellors of universities will publicly be seen with the Prime Minister at their roadshow? Is this not an election? And this is the question I want to raise. There in the pink is Mr. Dr. G.C. Tripathi, appointed in November 2014 by Prime Minister Modi. Should a Vice-Chancellor of a university be next to the Prime Minister on his roadshow? And this is where the integrity of an institution gets compromised. Why is the Vice-Chancellor of Banaras Hindu University with the Prime Minister during an electoral roadshow is the limited question that I'm asking.
Right. That's indeed a very important question, which we also would be asking through India Today. And these are the visuals of the Prime Minister making his presence felt at the Kashi Vishwanath Temple. We will be going to our correspondents in just a bit. Javed Ansari also, who has been taking us through the number of people who have gathered. Rajdeep, I'm just going to go to Javed right now. He's also joining us now. Javed, if you can hear me, we are just seeing the visuals of the Prime Minister at the Kashi Vishwanath Temple, and very interesting to see these visuals. What do you have to say about what Rajdeep just mentioned a short while back?
Well, I tuned in late, so I don't know as far as the bit about the Vice Chancellor accompanying the Prime Minister is concerned. This is a bit unusual.
He's right there. He's right behind the Prime Minister at the Kashi Vishwanath Temple also.
Well, this is,
yes.
Yes, this is a bit unusual. You know, the lines, the lines between of what you can do and what you can't, should be doing are being blurred, and this doesn't really go well. But I can tell you the scenes. I can describe for you the scenes playing out at the Ambedkar Chowk Chauraha, at the Kacheri. Rahul and Akhilesh, their van has just now driven in. They haven't come in as yet, but the van has now come. They are about to land any moment now at the police lines, and then they will drive to this place. This place is already chock-a-block. There isn't much movement, there isn't much space for movement. So unless the SPG and the UP police clear the way, it will be very difficult. Very boisterous scenes being played out. Lots of support has gathered here. Large number of Samajwadis, a fair sprinkling of Congress supporters as well. But nonetheless, this is a battle of numbers, and both sides have amply demonstrated their strength.
Oh, absolutely. Rajdeep, they say that takkar ki ladai. I think it's really it's coming out in Varanasi like this. I mean, we saw this huge gathering of BJP workers, but Javed is also reporting that there's a similar huge show of strength by the Samajwadi Party workers.
You know, the Samajwadi Party has a very, very strong cadre. It's been built over the years. You know, Mulayam Singh is not there in this campaign, but he is the original Netaji. He built this party, and in Eastern UP, they won 27 of the 49 seats that are going to the polls today.
Absolutely.
They may not have the kind of social coalition this time that possibly the BJP has, which is why I believe that they are struggling in this election, but their cadre is intact, and the Yadav cadre in particular is very aggressive. So I expect them to be in large numbers as well. The Congress is the Kamzor Kadi here, because they don't have the kind of cadre that the Samajwadi Party is. And I believe in that rally you will see there will be 8 Samajwadi Party flags to 2 of the Congress. That's the kind of ratio that you will have. Samajwadi Party is a powerful force. But I will stick with this image. I'm sorry to say, I would like people to tell me, do you believe that the Banaras Hindu University Vice Chancellor should be accompanying the Prime Minister on a political roadshow or to a temple like Kashi Vishwanath? Simple answer. Is this what the Election Commission should accept? Is this what a modern university Vice Chancellor should be doing? Is he not compromising his position as Vice Chancellor? I mean, this is utterly shocking and appalling to me, what I'm just seeing in front of me. A Vice Chancellor accompanying the Prime Minister on a political roadshow. He has every right if Mr. Modi went in his personal capacity to Kashi Vishwanath to accompany him. But this is election time. Someone needs to tell Dr. Tripathi that he's no longer a Swayam Sevak, for God's sake. He's the Vice Chancellor of Kashi Vishwanath University. And I'm sorry to say, what I'm seeing today only reflects the manner in which institutions have been completely compromised in this country, Avantika. I know that this may not be a fashionable thing to say. And I would also tell our producers that rather than just focus on Mr. Modi, kindly show both sides. There are 2 rallies going on there. I know that Mr. Modi brings us the TRPs, but this is my personal view. There are 2 rallies and 2 politicians fighting the election, and a third in Mayawati. We could be accused tomorrow by the Election Commission also of only promoting Mr. Modi and not the other side. But for now, the Vice Chancellor should be asked, and I hope Javed and whoever is there asks him this. Is this the role of a Vice Chancellor during an election campaign? Sorry to say, but this is not what I believe a Vice Chancellor should be doing.
You know, speaking of Mayawati, that's a very important point you made. Everybody seems to be not talking about her or perceived to be ignoring her, but she also plays a very important role in these elections, Rajdeep, doesn't she? I mean, 22% Dalit vote, that's something that also needs to be taken into account for, but I'm not seeing her aggressively campaigning like the Samajwadi Party, the Congress, or for that matter, the Prime Minister. And why is that?
Can you, look, Mayawati believes that she has the social engineering with the Dalit Muslim combined. And she, I think, her cadres have yet not fully adjusted to this new age of technology. You know, her cadres still practice old. She's on social media now. She's on Facebook. She's got the BSPs on Twitter, but I don't think it's BSP 2.0 yet. I think Mayawati still believes in that old style politics. Mr. Modi is great, his great ability to have reinvented himself from the Modi of the early 90s to what he is today is because he's
But
playing
is she that
multiple
old
roles.
style? Because she is also experimenting with the Dalit-Muslim combination this
Yeah,
time
so
around.
it's social engineering. You did Brahman Dalit in 2007, you do Dalit Muslim in 2017. But there are limits to that social engineering. And I think the credit to Mr. Modi is that he's able to play multiple roles. Vikas Purush one day, Hindutva hero the next, a third day, this son of a chaiwala, the poor backward caste boy. Mr. Modi is a master at it. This is where Mr. Modi has a PhD in politics. His ability to communicate and play different roles. Mayawati still plays one role. Akhilesh Yadav is slowly trying to emerge and play different roles. Rahul Gandhi, I think, still doesn't know what role he wants to play in politics. So I think, you know, you're going to see Mr. Modi being the master of the imagery, and therefore the visit to Kashi Vishwanath, like a Ganga Aarti, is something that is very much always on his agenda.
And coming to you, Javed, I've just been seeing this riot of colors, people anxiously waiting for Akhilesh Yadav. I'm just inquisitive. I just want to know from you, what is the kind of sentiment that people have with regards to the Samajwadi Party, Congress alliance? What do they have to say about Rahul Gandhi as well?
Well, Avantika, for now they've accepted this alliance. I had occasion to speak to Rahul Gandhi 2 days ago, and he says this alliance is working very well. Both Akhilesh and myself are very pleasantly surprised with the manner in which the work it's gelled amongst the workers. And Rahul Gandhi told me that he hopes to see this alliance continue in the foreseeable future beyond the assembly elections. So that's what Rahul Gandhi feels. On the ground for now, both side workers have accepted it. They would have been happier if this alliance had been struck 2 months before the election. It would have given them a much more time to tie the logistics in, for them to put the coordination in place. But nonetheless, given the paucity of time, this appears to be working. Now the real test will be whether votes can be transferred. This is the first time that these two disparate groups are coming together. Their vote banks are different, the support bases are different, and therefore this will be the real test will be on March 11, whether this has really worked on the ground. As far as we can see, yes, it appears to be working. Not picture perfect, but nonetheless working.
Absolutely. And Akhilesh Yadav, what do they have to say about Akhilesh Yadav? You know, he's been someone in the news because of that very ugly family feud, the internal battle between him and his own father, who is still sulking and brooding. He did not even participate in the campaigning. What do the people on the ground have to say about Akhilesh Yadav, who also seems to have, come into his own, emerged from the shadows of the Samajwadi Party Supremo Mulayam Singh?
Well, as far as Samajwadi Party is concerned, Akhilesh Yadav is by far their most popular leader. He's the face of this campaign. He's the face going forward for the Samajwadi Party. You just see the turnout. These are lots of these youngsters, youth, who've turned out, and they're all Akhilesh voters. Various slogans. You see posters only of Akhilesh and Dimple Yadav, So the ground has shifted from Mulayam's feet. Akhilesh, Mulayam may be the founder of Samajwadi Party. Akhilesh appears to be the future of the Samajwadi Party.
Okay, Javed, stay with me. We have this very interesting bit of breaking news coming in at this point. Samajwadi Party complaining to the Chief Election Commissioner's office in Lucknow, saying that the Prime Minister is organizing a roadshow for which the BJP doesn't have permission. This is something that Rajdeep had just mentioned just a few minutes back. Samajwadi Party officially lodging that complaint with the Election Commission, saying that the BJP never had the permission to, organize this roadshow. Samajwadi Party is in charge of giving that permission. The Election Commission, in fact, had given permission for the temple darshan. So that is the news that I'm just getting. But the main point, Rajdeep, is that Samajwadi Party has raised their point of objection to the Prime Minister's roadshow, and you just mentioned the same. But what's surprising is that how has we been able to, be given this kind of permission without the Chief Minister's permission in the first place?
Look, I think, let me be honest, this is not going to work. The fact is that the district administration as well as the state police comes under Mr. Akhilesh Yadav. The district administration reports to the election commission during elections. Presumably, there was some talk that the Prime Minister, for security reasons, wouldn't do the road show. There were SPG concerns. But I don't believe that the Prime Minister has gone ahead with zero permission. I'm pretty certain that the district administration has organized this rally and had played an important role. So I think that's quibbling at the moment. Samajwadi Party is perfectly entitled to complain. But, you can't stop the Prime Minister from holding a road show at the same time. The permit only for temple visits.
Okay.
It'll have to be seen whether that was true or not.
Okay.
I mean, why, who then gave the permission? The district administration is under Mr. Akhilesh Yadav, and so is the state police.
Okay.
And the election permission must have been sought. I find that difficult to believe that it was only sought for the temple visits.
So let me just understand this better. I'm going to go straight across to India Today's Rahul Kanwal. Rahul, can you just tell us a little bit more about what exactly is the Samajwadi Party complaining and what complaint have they made to the Election Commission?
So we've spoken to sources in the Chief Minister's office. They're in Varanasi, Avantika, waiting for Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav to land. And what we've been told by our sources is that they're filing a formal complaint with the Chief Election Commissioner's office in Delhi and the State Election Commissioner's office in Lucknow, saying that in their view, the Prime Minister has violated Election Commission guidelines, because their claim is in the permissions that were sought by the BJP, there was permission sought for a Jan Sabha at the town hall, and there was permission sought for 2 mandir darshans at the Kal Bhairav and the Sankat Mochan temple. They're saying that no permission was sought for a road show. In fact, they're also pulling out the official permission letter that's been given out by the Election Commission, which doesn't make any mention of a road show. So they're saying that they believe that this is violative of the Election Commission's guidelines. And as we speak at this time, a verbal complaint has already been made. Conversations have already happened in front of us. And now a formal letter is being drafted, which is being sent across to the Chief Election Commissioner in Lucknow and in Delhi.
Okay, so Rahul, then what can we expect? I mean, the Samajwadi Party alleging that the Prime Minister has violated the Election Commission guidelines by conducting a roadshow. He has already visited the Kashi Vishwanath Temple and also the Kal Bhairav Temple. What now can we expect?
Well, the next big thing soon about to start is the Rahul Gandhi Akhilesh roadshow. Remember, the way this was planned was that there would have been some intersections of Varanasi where the roadshows would have reached at virtually the same time. I spoke to some officials in the district administration. For them, this was a nightmare scenario.
Yes,
however,
absolutely.
Fortunately for them, the BJP agreed to rework its schedule. So you've got this roadshow in the morning, the temple visits in the afternoon, and then the Prime Minister goes to Jaunpur and he comes back only late towards the evening. So he's basically trying to occupy morning prime time and evening prime time. He's left afternoon, not so prime time, to Akhilesh and Rahul. But and we're currently where the Rahul Akhilesh roadshow is, huge crowd. So make no mistake, this is a battle, this is a contest. The BJP is putting out a strong message that they are confident, that they've got the numbers backing them. Deep within, they know that there's a fight. They know that, yes, they hope to win, but they know that this is a fight that they can't just sit back and put their legs up. They're going down right till the wire.
All right. Rahul, thanks so much for joining us. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hogging all of the limelight, at least, since the time he arrived in Varanasi till about 2 p.m. And after that, it's really going to be Akhilesh Yadav's show. We will leave you with these visuals. We have to take a very short break. Stay tuned. India Today will be back in just a bit.